Shan Masood as Test captain. He's been fantastic. He got given the job in difficult circumstances. Without them, none of us have jobs. Plain and simple. So we've got to look after these guys. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's necessarily out of form. I just think he just hasn't scored the runs that he'd like because he's hitting the ball very well.
Hello and welcome back. Today we are being joined by Jason Gillespie, Pakistan's Test coach. Pakistan, as we know, that we have a very important series coming up with England, and then there is a busy season ahead as well. Jason, first of all, thanks for your time. Welcome to this show. Tell us about your experience so far with Pakistan. I know that there was a rough time in that Bangladesh series, but how are things otherwise?
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Mazher. And it's been great so far. As you mentioned, the Bangladesh series didn't go to plan, but I think we learnt a lot of lessons on how to go about it, how we want to play. Shan Masood has been very clear on how we want to go about playing, and we're completely aligned as captain and coach on how we'd like to play. The players are really clear. The lessons we learned, we just probably need to. We played some good cricket against Bangladesh, but we just didn't do it often enough. And so that's the lessons we can take from that series. But look, so far, being in Pakistan, it's a wonderful country, wonderful place. Really enjoying working with everyone here. Everyone at the PCB have been fantastic. The staff, the players. It's made for a wonderful experience so far. Yes, there are challenges, just like any job that you have, but look, I'm really energised. I'm excited. Having so much fun. Getting to know the boys has been so much fun. They're a great bunch of lads. All the players I've met have been great. I've really enjoyed getting to know everyone. Just hoping to go out and play some really good cricket against England in these next few weeks. We're really excited about the opportunity.
Jason, will it be fair to say that Pakistan is a much better team than the performance they gave against Bangladesh?
I believe so. I believe that we are a very good cricket team, very good Test cricket team. So I've got no problem in saying that. I'll be honest, we didn't perform at the level we would have liked against Bangladesh, and Bangladesh played well. But let's face it, we had opportunities to really push home the advantage in both Test matches. First Test, we declared the first innings, close to late on day two. It was a late started game, and we just felt we wanted to push the game forward. So we scored nearly 450 runs, and we declared, and we looked to take the positive option and get bowling and look to drive the game forward. And it didn't quite pan out how we would have liked. And then probably our second innings batting probably cost us in that game. Second Test match, we had our opposition 6 down for not many runs at all. And unfortunately, we allowed them back into the game as well. And then again, probably our second innings batting wasn't where it should be. So just identifying those periods, those moments in games, and identifying when we need to, put the foot on the gas, so to speak, and really drive home the advantage, and also absorbing some, tough periods of play, because we know we're going to get both against England. We know we're going to have opportunities to push the game forward and get ahead of the game. But we also know the way England play, they can go on a bit of a roll, and we just need to be really patient, hang in there, be really as disciplined as we possibly can, as consistent as we possibly can, and that will give us the best chance of being successful.
And Jason, the pitches in Pakistan, they're normally very flat and very batting friendly, but the recent series against Bangladesh, the pitches looked quite different. I think there was something for the bowlers as well. So what the players taken by surprise? Could it be a reason that they were not able to adjust to some new conditions? And is it the strategy going forward with England as well, like in terms of pitches?
Yeah, no, not at all. Players weren't surprised or shocked or anything. We just needed to play better. As I said, we played some really good cricket against Bangladesh, but we just didn't do it often enough, and we allowed our opposition back into games. The pitches are the pitches. Both teams have to play on it. We just have to play as well as we can on whatever surface is presented. In Rawalpindi, the surfaces we played on against Bangladesh were good cricket surfaces. There's no doubt about it. We just needed to play better on those surfaces. Multan, again, I went and had a look today. There's a nice coverage of grass, and but we'll let the curators do their job, and we'll focus on what our job is, which is to prepare to play cricket. And we allow the curators to do their job and prepare cricket surfaces. So we know both teams have to play on the surface. We just need to make sure we're playing the best possible cricket we can play.
Jason, do you think that the Test cricket, the style of Test cricket is now getting changed as well? Like I know that it's a very different format compared to T20s, but now a lot of teams are playing with a lot more intent. We have seen recently India beating Bangladesh, and even Pakistan in the past, they have declared early to generate the results. So do you think that Test cricket is now also being changed?
I think it's evolving, and Test cricket over the years, over many years, has evolved, and I think we're seeing another evolution of how teams play. Ultimately, though, the teams who play the most consistent cricket over the full 5 days, more often than not, come out on top, and that's got to be our focus: is how can we be as disciplined and patient, as consistent as we possibly can over the 5 days, as well as identifying opportunities within the 5 days where we can drive home the advantage. So identify those periods in the game where we can really take it to our opposition. So that's just where that's all about problem solving in game. And we don't want to be a team that reviews after the fact, looks back on a game and goes, oh, maybe on reflection we should have done this or that or that. We want to be able to do that in game and be able to adjust and adapt and be flexible. So that's the challenge that we've got as a team, and hopefully we're up for that challenge. But the game is evolving, and we'll continue to evolve. Trends come and go, but the basics of the game don't change. Disciplined batting, disciplined bowling. Yes, I know we're in a phase where batting teams are looking, some teams are looking to be ultra aggressive, and I think it just creates opportunities for teams to develop strategies to counteract that. And we're certainly doing our research and our preparation to look to counteract how England go about their play, and we're really excited to put together a bit of a game plan about how we're going to go about it.
Well, Jason, as you said that the game is evolving, the number of matches they are getting increased. Pakistan, they have so much cricket coming up. They are going to Australia, Zimbabwe, then South Africa. So you were also a fast bowler, but in a different era. How important it is now to manage the workload of fast bowlers?
Oh, it's always been important. I know even back when I played, I finished playing Test cricket nearly 20 years ago, and there was, I probably wasn't called workload management, but there were certainly times when I played a Test series, and then there was one-day games following, and I was rested from a number of one-day games. All our bowlers at certain times, all our players were given a little break here and there, depending on how busy the schedule was. I think what we've got to understand and appreciate is that there's another format of the game. And on top of another format of the game internationally, there's another format of the game that's played in tournaments and in franchises domestically as well. And players want to be part of it and want to be involved in that because it can be quite lucrative for them. And players only play for a certain period of time. So we need to understand and appreciate that. The challenge that myself and Gary Kirsten have got is that we've been brought in as Pakistan cricket coaches to have our players be available as much as possible for Pakistan. And we've got a number of players who are all format players. They play Test cricket, they play 50-over cricket, they play T20 cricket for Pakistan. And we want them available for as many games as possible for Pakistan. We also want to potentially provide them with opportunities to play in different leagues around the world as well when the timing is right. So that's in a nutshell what we're trying to do with workload management, and with our all format players. You know, we need to look after them. So there might be times when a player, an all format player, is rested from a tour, or at least a couple of games on a tour, just to give them time to maybe get over a couple of niggles, or just freshen up mentally. Maybe just, you know, they've done a lot of batting or bowling, and we feel it's in their best interest to just have a little bit of a break. So that'll just come down to good, clear communication between the coaches and between the sports medicine department. And we'll make the right decisions. But every decision to be made is in the best interest of the player and Pakistan cricket. And we're fully committed to that.
Jason, just talking about selections and this workload management, in the past, we have seen that a lot of players, they were reluctant to miss out on cricket because of the instability. I mean, if there is a player who is resting, and if a new player comes in and he performs, then a lot of the times it happened that the selectors or the management thought that, okay, now we need this player. So I think that was one of the reasons that in the past, a lot of players, they were they didn't want to miss out any cricket, and they wanted to play every cricket. So do you think that with the current management and with the new coaches, this culture can be changed as well?
Look, we're hopeful of that. I myself and Gary, we've spoken at length. We want to do what's best for Pakistan cricket, but we're also very mindful we've got to do what's best for our players. They're our asset. They're the guys that are going out and representing Pakistan on the world stage, and without them, none of us have jobs. Plain and simple. So we've got to look after these guys. They're my focus. They're Gary's focus. We've got to look after these guys, because if we look after them well and they're available and playing as much cricket as possible for Pakistan, we're in a pretty good place, and we're in a good position to, you know, push to win games of cricket. Look, it'll take time. I know everyone wants results immediately. Everyone wants results yesterday. I'm fully aware of that. I fully understand that, as is Gary. But, you know, Gary and I are really focused on building the foundations to have Pakistan not only have some success. We'd love to have some success in the short term, absolutely, and we strive to win every game of cricket that we turn up and play. But if we've got the system in place, the structure in place, the building blocks in place, the foundations in order to build Pakistan cricket from, it gives us the best chance to compete on the world stage. As we know, we've got a lot of talented cricket. I've been here the last week or so, watched the back end of the Champions Cup 50-over tournament. Gee, there's a lot of talented, skillful cricketers in Pakistan. There's a lot of depth. You know, I've been hearing that there's not much depth in Pakistan cricket. Well, I would argue that there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of very good quality players. So, you know, that's something that's exciting for Gary and I as the head coaches. You know, we can tap into. You know, we want to back and support the guys, the incumbents that are in the teams at the moment, but we're also looking who are the next guys who can challenge for places in the team, because we do want healthy competition for places, but we've got to marry that up with backing and trusting the players that are in the team to get the job done.
And Jason, recently, in fact, just I think yesterday, there was an interesting development that Babar Azam now has stepped down from Pakistan's white ball captaincy. So did you have any word with him, or he talked to you about this decision, and how much you think it's going to help him in Test cricket as well, because he has been out of form in Test cricket as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's necessarily out of form. I just think he just hasn't scored the runs that he'd like, because he's hitting the ball very well. So look, the runs will come for Bubba. He's a quality player, and looking forward to seeing him do well in this series. Regarding the captaincy, look, that was Bubba's personal decision. He felt that it was in the best interest of the team, his best interest personally, to step aside. Look, he had his initial conversations with Gary, Gary being the white ball coach of Pakistan. So he communicated his thinking, his feelings with Gary, and it just went from there. So look, fully supportive of what Bubba, he thought deeply about it. It's a huge, incredible honour for anyone to captain their country, and he didn't take that decision lightly. But he was very selfless and felt that it was in the best interest of Pakistan cricket, and it was in the best interest of himself as well, to allow someone else the opportunity to captain Pakistan.
And Jason, just talking more about captaincy, are you happy with Shan's captaincy, especially considering that he's also short of some runs?
Oh, I'm incredibly happy with Pakistan and Pakistan's leadership, and Shan Masood as Test captain. He's been fantastic. He got given the job in difficult circumstances, and the way he's led this side, he's very clear. We're aligned on how we want to play. Him and I are very much aligned on how we want to go about it. The way he communicates with his team, with the players, the way he handles the media, I think, has been exceptional. And the way he goes about the job each and every day, I think he's excellent. He's an excellent leader. He's backing and trusting the players. Again, he will score the runs. He's a very good player. We want to create an environment, Shan and I, of a safe space for the players to be able to speak openly, speak freely, share thoughts and ideas, knowing that they've been given the support and the backing of the coaches and the selectors to just go out and play the best cricket they can. And in my experience, when players are given that opportunity to shine, and knowing that they don't have their axe hanging over their head every time they walk out the bat or every time they walk out the bowl, it gives players a lot of confidence that they're being shown belief and faith in them. And certainly driving that. I'm well aware, and Shan's well aware that, and all the players are aware that, if there are prolonged periods, that selection discussions will happen. But I've been in this job for 2 minutes. I've had 2 Test matches. I don't think that's a big enough sample size to make decisions on players' careers on the back of 2 Test matches. I think, we'll have a clearer idea, by the end of the year, where we're at as a Test side, and we can, should we need to make adjustments, then we can explore those opportunities. But right now, I'm really comfortable. I'm really confident in this group of players, and I'm incredibly confident in Shan, his leadership and his batting to get the job done for Pakistan.
Jason, just 2 more questions. Last time when England came to Pakistan, they absolutely hammered them, and they won the series 3-0. And BazBall, we all saw that how aggressive they were. But I think that you being an Aussie would know that how to beat England in Test cricket. So are you going to instill those Aussie instincts in Pakistan players as well?
Look, I get asked this a lot. It's about us playing authentic to us as a Pakistan cricket team. And we're doing our research. We've done our research on how we go about playing against England. We know exactly how they're going to go about their work, how they play. But we just need to focus on being adaptable, being flexible, being proactive out there, and having a few tricks up our sleeve to take on England, and we'll see how we go. But they're a good side. But we feel we match up very well against England, and so we're looking forward to the challenge. We know it's going to be a great challenge, but we're really energised and excited about that.
And Jason, before we sign off, just last one question. Are you also going to coach Pakistan's night watchmen how to score double centuries?
I've had a couple of conversations with our lower order players, but ultimately, look, these guys are much better players than I ever was. So I'll leave the batting to the experts. But overall, I'm really energised. I'm excited working with all our players, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great journey. They're a great bunch of guys. I really implore all our fans out there. I know it's been lean times. Haven't had many wins in the win column of recent times, but rest assured, the lads are working hard. They're giving it their all, and they want to make Pakistan, the people of Pakistan, proud. They want to inspire people in the country, and I'm really proud of their attitudes and how they're going about it, preparing for this series.
Thanks, Jason. We hope that the situation does not come to that point that Pakistan they need that they need night watchmen. But I mean, even if they do, then we have your company, and you can tell them how to bat. Thanks, Jason. We wish you all the best, and we hope that the coming series will be really interesting for the fans, for you, and also for Pakistan cricket.
No worries. Thanks so much.